So I've had the pleasure to work with Don for the last few years, and SUNPOWER's mission is to change the way the world is powered. But working with Don and other districts, we're changing the way our world is being educated. So thank you for your creativity, your rigor, and making it easy to work with you. So I have been in the solar industry for about 15 years. And when I started as a project manager, I was installing little teeny tiny systems. I was very proud for my 100 kilowatt systems. And 3 years ago, I had an opportunity to leverage my way back teaching experience to help manage this program. So instead of putting in small systems, now I'm working with thousands of students. And instead of employing, where 15 years ago there were maybe 200 solar companies, there are now over 2,000 in the solar industry in California. And I'd like to think that I did help make thousands of kilowatt hours through my projects, but now I'm working to stimulate the electrical neural impulses of trillions of neurons in our students. There's a lot of electricity going on there. So we have, in 6 years, worked with more than 40 districts, educating over 13,000 students in our different elements of our program and 150 teachers. And I thought, yes, I know I'm very interesting and to look at and to listen to, but we do have a video which I think shows a bit more of what we do.
My father was an engineer. Our family members were scientists. I worked at different manufacturing plants and got opportunities to learn about engineering and to learn about manufacturing. So for me to say 20 years later and not see those opportunities existing, that's not fair. There was a disconnect between education and industry. And when education can't see the need for what they're teaching in the next stage of a child's life, then that's where you start to lose the interest in math. You lose the interest in science because you're only concerned about that one grade level, getting them through your class and progressing them through the next stage of a subject. Love SUNPOWER. They've been a great industry partner. They are sponsors for the Academy. They engage their partners in the solar renewable energy to come in and participate, whether as speakers or to do industry tours. We also have our celebration event in which the students will present. So this event is actually taking place at SUNPOWER, and they will have actual current industry representatives there who are going to come and participate as judges to observe the students' presentations, participate in like the round table discussions. We bring in industry partners and representatives to say, this is what I do in my job, this is my background. I didn't like math, I didn't like science, but now I'm a scientist. And if you get young people excited about something like solar, like renewable energy, that could be the spark that changes their approach. That's when we'll see the greatest change and impact in them.
SUNPOWER Horizons focus on 3 different components. The first one is obviously starting in the classroom. So we bring our resources, our people, and we support curriculum development in the class. Our second area is in the field, right? If we want to bring relevance to the classroom, we bring students and teachers out of the class. You learn your basics there, and you learn how it gets applied in the real world by going into the field in different ways. And the last area is essentially working with teachers. So, right, we know you don't give someone a fish if you want them to eat, you give them a fishing pole. So we realize a really strong strategy is working on the professional development of teachers as well, so they can continue to bring education from the industry to the classroom. So I want to talk a little bit more about each of these. So in the classroom, one of our bigger programs is to support a very rigorous curriculum called Project Lead the Way. We've been a partner with them for about 4 years. Santa Ana is a recipient using Project Lead the Way in a pathway model from K through 12. And what they work on is activity-based, project-based. You learn how to fail and experiment so that you understand the important aspects of design. So I'm very proud that this is one of our programs that we bring to schools. The second one is guest lecturers and instructors. So we have over 74,000 solar industry employees, as the commissioner said this morning, over 1,000 SUNPOWER employees, bringing them to the classroom, bolstering what teachers are already teaching from the lens of someone who is in the industry in the field. The last one is also, SUNPOWER really understands what are the critical elements of solar science, solar energy, how's it used, and so we've created a suite of lesson plans so that teachers from a K through 12 can incorporate them, build them off, use activity-based learning to enhance the learning of their students. So heading back into the field where we do most of our work, our flagship program is Solar Energy Academy. And I think everyone here will appreciate that one of the first things I mentioned to students is that, you know, if you want to show you are really interested and excited about what you're doing, you sit in the front row. And I say, all adults, when you get older, you always see adults, they always go to the front row, right? So, but none of you have been to the Solar Energy Academy, so this is why. So the Solar Energy Academy, this summer we're gonna have 13. Last summer we had seven. So we're gonna be educating over 500 high school students in a very intense work-based learning atmosphere at local college campuses, so they understand what it's like to learn on a college campus. But what they're learning with solar professionals and their teachers is how do you develop a solar professional proposal for a customer? So through the lens of a marketing manager, a project manager, a design engineer, and a financial analyst, how do you create something that a customer wants? So you're really applying what you learn in the class for real-world application. It's very exciting. If you want to go, you just contact me. I will invite you. You'll love it. Field trips. So bringing the students either to their own campus where there's a solar project, to another campus, or coming to offices to, you know, I loved field trips when I was younger, right? It was a way to get away, but really I thought I was escaping classroom, but what I really was doing was actually finding a very interesting way to learn about something else. And so that's what we aim to do, bring, right, a new way of looking at something to learn about what are the opportunities for students beyond high school, in college and beyond college. Finally, we have an internship program where we enable students to come into our offices, work with our professionals, understand really what it's like to work. And those are the students, right? Those are the students that all businesses want, people who have real world application. Yes, you can get an A on a report card, but the fact that you work 2 months in an office to develop, plan, and use AutoCAD and understand the elements of solar or something else, that's what people are looking for. That's what I look for. And so finally, the fishing pole that I mentioned before, we have 3 programs for educators. One are externships. So coming to SUNPOWER and learning what it's like for solar professionals to design solar systems and to build them so that they achieve 2 things. One, they validate how are they teaching now? Is it preparing students for the careers they're learning about? And then 2, they actually really get what it's like to work in solar so that they can then enhance how they are teaching so that they're preparing their students, exciting them as well. The Solar Energy Academy is a train-the-trainer model, so we have our solar professionals work with teachers collaboratively. I mean, this to me is one of my most exciting parts of my work, is that we are both wanting to prepare our students and we're working with them from many different perspectives in a way that we feel that makes students challenged, nervous, and then at the end they have a sense of absolute success that they got to do something they never thought they were capable to do. So our teachers from our districts deliver that with us. And then finally, job shadowing, that simple, kind of compact way, going into the office and learning what it's like to be an engineer, a manager, a financial analyst. So what are the program? What are the benefits? Well, I was thinking about this through the lens, and it's really, I'm thinking about many stakeholders. So first, for all advanced energy, including solar industry, that we're strengthening the pipeline for our employees, for our customers, and for engaged citizens, people who will actually care about how our communities are doing. They become voters. They realize they have the power to make change. Some of our students, after they go to the academy, they say, I want more solar. I want more solar in other districts, and they take the initiative. They realize that they have the power. Bolstering our local economies. So you'll get a little bit of my politics, but when I think about solar, it is free fuel to everywhere where the sun shines. And all you have to do is you have to bring technology there. So if we're training people how to design, build, install, maintaining systems, we are building local economies where people in their communities are building jobs and energy independence. Employee retention. This is one of those light things, but I find very significant. When I bring our employees and our partners into the classroom, they come back jazzed. For one, they have not been sitting at their computer for 2 hours. Instead, they're working with students and they're thinking about, wow, I wish I had heard this when I was in high school, and they get to pay something forward. So this is something that people want to be involved in. And finally, the opportunity for industry, private sector, schools to actually collaborate on a mission that helps all of us, that's a benefit to us. And looking forward, more districts are realizing when you work with your vendors, you can work with what can they do to not only help reduce our cost, but help to educate our students. So I'm delighted to introduce my friend and previous graduate from one of our solar energy academies, Ms. Rahi.